What is up, peeps?
What up, y'all?
Man,
How's it going?
it's been a minute, but we back. We back up in this space.
It's been actually longer than a minute. It's been, if you take like the week.
Okay. Are you ready?
Y'all ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was a cracky one.
That was a cracky one. That was a good. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter. Hey, we missed y'all. Did you miss us? Hopefully you did.
Yeah,
We're
hopefully
back.
you did. We are back.
We had take a pause for the calls. Not even intentionally. I don't even know what happened last week.
Well, last week.
Well, we didn't do it on Tuesday.
Yeah, we didn't do it on Tuesday because house stuff, and so we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, just it kind of threw us off, so we didn't get it done Tuesday, and then Wednesday ended up being a day where we had to get things done from Tuesday. And it just became a little bit busier than normal.
It just didn't happen.
Yeah, so it didn't happen. Yeah. And but that's all right. It was a little break we probably needed. So we're back this week.
So we're back. And if this is your first time listening or watching, thanks so much for checking us out. I am Gabrielle, one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my husband,
Chad.
Yes.
The other host. The man blessed enough to sit next to this beauty right here.
Thank you. Even though if you're looking at me, I probably look a mess right now because I did not have time to untwist my hair.
I would scoop you up right now.
Thank you.
If I saw you out on these streets and we was walking down.
You would not scoop me up right now.
If we were walking down the sidewalk and you were single, I was single, and you were going somewhere, and I'd be like, hey.
You would not.
What's your name?
You gotta turn off these devices.
I know, right?
Stop.
And you'd be like, so if I said, hey, what's your name? You'd be like, oh, I'm Gabrielle.
I'd say Keisha. Every time he asks me what my name is, I say Keisha. Keisha's like my name.
That's been like for
years.
Seriously, like our entire marriage.
I don't know why Keisha stuck with me. Shout out to all the Keishas out there watching or listening.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, hey.
That's right.
I just like saying my name's Keisha.
That's right.
And I got to say it like that, too. Keisha.
What was it, from a movie or something?
I don't know where I got that
I feel like it was from a movie or something.
It might have been.
Our entire marriage, though. I mean,
that. It's the funniest
like,
thing.
if we're in two separate cars and we roll up next to each other.
I'm
Keisha. Like, hey, girl, what's your name?
I'm always Keisha.
Yeah, always Keisha. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's funny. It's just, do y'all have that in your marriage? Do you have like these like just little weird things y'all do?
Yeah, I feel like all marriages.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Quirky. Yeah. Just the inside jokes, because nobody else would get it. But like for us, it's like our, it's one of our little things.
It is one of our things. I almost burned my mouth on my coffee
because that cup, that lid is ridiculously dumb.
This is what I don't like about the lid. It has this double lip situation.
Yes. So it gets.
So it dribbles.
It'd be dribbling.
It's a mess. It's just
it'd be full court dribbling, just all down your chin if you don't get it right.
He had to tell us about his art supplies that he needs for school today.
Because we had never really done like school shopping because there was no list put out, and he was doing virtual, and it didn't really need anything. We had stuff at the house. Well, now we're in the hotel, and now they're doing like the same like STEM for the entire week.
Yeah,
like the whole every day of the whole week, and then next week will be a different STEM. This week is art, so he needs like
art supplies.
Art supplies. So yeah, we got him all the school supplies when we were at Target the other day, and so he's excited to have all that stuff.
He is. Yeah, he was excited to do the traditional like school shopping stuff because he hadn't really done it, and then yesterday you took him to get some clothes,
a few little clothes. So today, him and I both have haircuts today, so we'll probably stop by.
I forgot about that.
We'll probably stop by and get him another pair of shoes somewhere.
Oh yeah, he does need some shoes.
And because he was asking about some shoes, and I was like, buddy, we're not gonna get some shoes. I mean, nothing wrong with Old Navy shoes, but they're not gonna hold up to a 7-year-old running around in them.
Yeah.
So we'll get him. We'll go get him a pair of shoes that kind of matches everything, and because he's rough on shoes.
Yeah.
He's disrespectful to shoes.
Him and Reagan both.
They're so disrespectful.
I get them a pair of shoes, and it's just like, didn't I just buy these like a week ago?
It's like they literally just go outside and like just find dirt and gravel and just scrape them.
I feel like now I get it. Like when my mom would be talking about like
I know.
taking care of your shoes and not making them, not making them a mess or getting them dirty and scuffed up and all of that. Now I get it. Because as soon as they get a new pair, it's like they look like they a year old. I'm like, why do they look so raggedy? It's the craziest thing.
I think maybe when I was a kid, mine were already raggedy. Like they were already like hand-me-downs half the time. So maybe I didn't notice because they were already raggedy. So I was like, oh, this is. But you know what? Maybe I was just ahead of the times because now you can buy like Gucci's that are all beat up and raggedy looking.
But why would you ever want to do that?
But you can, and people are doing it for like $1,000. Yes, they have raggedy Gucci's, and I think even like Louis has some, but like they're raggedy looking.
Is that like the style?
So I was already ahead of the curve. I had some head of the curve. I had the Velcros. They were beat up. Let me funny story about some of my Velcro shoes. At elementary school, we had this. It was smaller than a normal track, right? It was like a half. It was probably, instead of a 400-meter track, it probably was a 200-meter track, and I was the fastest kid in school. Simple as that. I had the fastest one lap. Like simple as that.
Somebody just broke that record.
But somebody just broke that probably like, I think right after we moved back or right before we moved back. Somebody broke my one lap. It was 38 seconds around this track. And I was really fast. I was always really fast. Like I was a really fast runner. And so, but I had the janketiest shoes. I mean, I had Velcro.
I haven't heard that word.
I had Payless shoes with Velcro straps, straight up jankety, and they were hoopty shoes. And I literally, but it was funny because all of my friends like.
I have never heard the term hoopty shoes.
Yeah, all of my friends would like. Because, you know, with kids, you know, you think about shoes. Sorry, we had a little card full issue.
So you were saying that the kids.
Oh, yeah. So the kids, all my friends,
shoes.
They wanted my hoopty shoes. Like, they literally would be like, where'd you get them shoes?
Hoopty
and
shoes.
Like.
This term is cracking me up. Have you ever heard that before? I've never heard nobody say hoopty shoes.
But yeah, so basically, yeah. So that was so look.
So that was that story.
I was ahead of that I was ahead of the curve having jankety hoopty shoes. And I should have just kept my shoes and sold them for $1,000.
So on that note, I think you should cue the music.
Dang, I wasn't even ready. I was too busy reminiscing about my hoopty shoes.
You these raggedy shoes.
Don't be mad because I got hoopty shoes and you don't.
I don't want no hoopty shoes. Okay.
You wouldn't wear a pair of hoopty shoes?
No. Makes me think of the Hump Day song. Hey, because that's how it ended.
So maybe that's where maybe you like the
song.
No, maybe you like the song because it had the A.
I don't know. Shout out to the Hump Day song. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you don't watch Gabe Babe TV, and you should. Exactly. Even though it's been a really long time since I've sang.
She just did it on Instagram. So follow her at Gabe Flowers on Instagram.
True.
And me at CRaider12.
True. You can always get it on them Instagram stories. Okay. Yeah. Can we talk about how Instagram just has all the things? Like I literally cannot keep up. I really want to get into this reel situation, but I just can't.
You can't do TikTok.
I can't figure it out. Well, I really did get into TikTok in the beginning. I really liked it, and then I just got busy and forgot about it. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, "Ooh, reels! Let me get into the reels." But for one, I don't have my music on Instagram on my main account, which is annoying.
So if any of y'all work at Instagram,
can anybody help me? No. But I have it on every other Instagram account that we have has the music feature except Gabe Flowers. And I'm like, weird. That's the main account. Like, it's come on. And it's not a business account because I know business accounts don't have music. It's a creator account. So
it's a creator account and it's verified.
And so it's like why don't you have music? Instagram. What do I have to do? And now, so what I used to do is do it on my Gabe Fix Fitness Instagram and then download it and repost it on Gabe Flowers. But now they've gotten smart. So you can't even download it with the audio. They'll be like, do you want to save this video without the audio? I was like, oh, now y'all playing. Now they playing. So anyway, I don't even know how I got on that tangent, but so let's see what's going on. I feel like it's been so much going on, but maybe we should do the questions before we get into everything that's been going on.
Yeah, we'll do a question.
You guys are probably wondering why we're still in this hotel.
Yeah, so, or maybe you're wondering, why we were in the hotel in the first place, and you don't know.
So, all right. So, what number would you like? It goes up like 280 something. I don't know. because these questions are numbered.
200.
200.
Hondo.
Oh, okay.
Stop.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to answer this, but what was the worst sexual experience in your life?
What?
This book didn't waste no time.
Worst sexual experience.
Yeah, because normally it has questions. So this page is like, what was the worst? And then it has a page full of, like,
that's
how to finish the question. You don't have to answer that if you don't like. We can
That's funny.
Go to another first.
Yeah.
Or another worst.
That's funny. Stop.
What was the worst thing that happened to you in an elevator?
Worst thing that happened to me in an elevator?
Has anything bad happened to you in an elevator?
I'm trying
Do you
to
want
remember.
the one that happened under that?
Yeah, sure.
What was the worst home you have ever lived in?
Oh, like a homeless shelter?
Really?
Yeah, we were there for like a quick minute and then got a temporary housing thing. Yeah.
Out of your whole life, that was the worst place? The homeless shelter wasn't, like, what was it?
I guess because it was about being a
Because it was
kid, being a kid.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that was obviously like sucky in that, just that experience, being a kid, like, but I would say the worst place I've ever lived.
Honey, I know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. I would say probably it's the worst place I ever lived was definitely Iraq in 2003, in March of 2003 when the war first started in our first little area when we crossed the border. Yeah, it sucked because I was just living in a hole that I dug, or a cot next to this concrete circle. There was like it was an area that was like a windsock. You know what a windsock is?
No, I was just about to say,
a windsock is like showing the wind direction. It has this, like, it looks like like a fisherman's net. You ever seen like a net?
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like that almost, but it's standing straight up, and whenever the wind blows, it shows which way the direction of the wind's blowing.
Oh.
It's usually at airports.
So is it like up on a pole?
It is, yeah.
It got the circle and everything?
Yes. So when the wind blows, it'll extend out this way because that means the wind's coming from this direction.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a windsock. But
a windsock. I've never heard of that.
So, but literally, I mean, we were wrapped around this circle, concrete, just our cots right next to it, or we were laying in our foxholes. Yeah, that was probably the worst.
Okay.
Also, like, the coolest, though.
Yeah.
Because I was 20 years old. I mean, that was...
Yeah, that's a pretty cool experience.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking back on it, it was a pretty cool experience. So,
that's cool.
What about you?
Honey, you know my worst housing experience. And I don't even know.
Your apartment over there by the mall?
No. Honey, he says that because, listen.
We'd live there.
We would still be there, okay? I don't know what is going on with this camera, but it's just driving me insane. Okay, it's like it keeps going out of focus, and it's so weird. When I tell you that I loved my first apartment so much, I literally cried. I cried. Okay, so here's the story. I was going to move, actually, from this apartment because I had found some, more luxury apartments, or so I thought. The area was a little bit nicer, so I had told the leasing department that I was moving. I had got my new apartment, and then I started crunching numbers and was like, I'm not about to have the discretionary funds that I'm used to having. So I went into the office and gave them this sob story that I couldn't move, and they had already had somebody that was going to take my apartment, but they loved me so much that they made a way for me to stay. I legit waterworks. I pulled out all the stops so that they wouldn't make me move. I was like, I love my apartment. And I think I loved it so much because it was my very own place. The first time I had lived by myself because, I went from college to LA. I had roommates in LA. I never lived by myself. Then I moved back home and lived with my mom for a year. And it was just like my very first
because rent is $12,000 a month in freaking LA.
Honey, if you make it into LA without no roommate, then you're great. Okay,
you're doing amazing. We congratulate you. We give you a hand clap.
But yeah, it's it's crazy. But that's not even the that's the best place that I know. Yeah, that was the worst place, y'all. If you have watched us, then you probably remember this house with these wooden panels. Mm-hmm. We literally lived there for a week.
Probably a week or
maybe two. And
there was bugs.
There were bugs. It was like infested.
Yes, and
with
so
bugs.
And so we basically we told the landlord.
Oh my God.
We told the landlord, like I told him that, I was like,
first of all, you wrong because you knew that this place was infested.
Yeah, I was like, no, not gonna work. Nope. And I said, no, we're gonna be moving out, and I want the deposit back. Mm-hmm. And he couldn't even argue.
Nope. We was like, oh no, you knew this when you rented us this.
He couldn't even argue, but I think it helped too where we worked, because our work was because we were working for a government contractor in this town that was we were basically.
Yeah.
All of us that worked in the company were like the highest paid people in the town. And so I think it was like, he was like, he knew. He's like, okay, I'll get back to you.
And when I tell you it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that our place was still available, the place that we had moved from, because we were able to actually move right back into the place that we had moved from. Yeah. Thank the Lord, because I don't know what we would have done. I was pregnant with Chad Jr. And I was like,
that's where we found out we were pregnant.
Not.
That's the only thing I remember about that place.
The only good thing about that place is exactly where we found out we were pregnant.
That's the only thing good about that place.
You're right. But I was like, I will not stay here another night. I was like, I just can't.
We didn't even unpack.
And I'm not bringing no child into this. I will not do it.
We didn't even unpack the boxes.
No, we didn't. We was there very, very quickly. It was very short-lived. Yeah. It may have been 3 weeks. But that was probably like the most.
Maybe the most. Yeah. But it was, that was the worst. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Worst. Anyway, okay.
I would take the Iraqi desert over that place.
I would have taken the Iraqi desert over there. And I don't even know what that's like.
I know, right?
But no, thank you. I'm going to do page 100.
Okay, page 100.
100. Oh, stop. I was like, what is he doing?
What values do you want to pass on to your children?
Ooh, that's a great question.
You better have some great answers.
I know, right? The pressure is on. Well, more than anything, I want my children to be honest. Mm-hmm. I want them to know that truth is king. Like, live in your truth, tell your truth, be your true self. Like, there isn't a reason to lie. Like, and I say that because I feel like that's something we've had to tell Chad Jr., like, because he's always like, tricked you, or, he'll do something small, and I'm like, but it's still a lie. Like, that's not a trick, that's a lie. Like, he doesn't quite understand the concept.
Like, tricking you is like, like, if I switch out your water for, like, I put some Coke in your coffee cup or something, and you think it's coffee.
Trick,
and then, I tricked you, like that. But if you say, hey, I didn't put Coke in your cup, and then you drink it, and
I'm like, but that's a lie.
That's just a lie. But
so that was the first thing that came to my mind. But I want them to be honest. I want them to be God-fearing, and to know that God is their source for everything. And I really want them to live a life of contentment. And I think that because it's something that I've dealt with, like, I really want to raise them. It's weird because we both kind of grew up with, we got by. Things were great, but there wasn't an abundance of things. Mm-hmm. And I feel like our children have grown up with an abundance, but I don't want that to taint their
ability to know that they have to work hard.
Yeah, I was like, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, like, I want them to,
because it comes easy for them now because they don't see the work that goes behind it. Yeah, which I'm thankful that we can. We're both thankful that we can provide them a life that's better than what we had growing up.
But I don't want them to be jaded, feeling like it's expected or easy. No. I want them to value hard work. and, you know, working for something and not having things just handed to you. Like,
just knowing that that there's, you know, that you're going to have to work, that if you want the dreams that you have to come, you know, to fruition, to be reality, then you have to work for it. Nobody can work for you.
Yeah.
And so I think.
Yeah. So those are some of the things. Obviously, I want them to be, you know, kind and compassionate, have empathy towards people. Exactly. But those are the major things that stuck out at the top. But it's interesting, this whole parenting thing. It's so interesting because you're like, you're like molding this individual, like these individuals, because literally, like, when you think about it, everything we believe and we do, like, it all stems from what we saw or what we were taught when we were younger, until you can, you know, either break that or push past it. It starts at home. So it's like this incredible pressure when you think about it, to make sure you're doing it right. Like,
so I think that's
so that was a good question.
So, like, you know, that's one of those things where, you know, there's some people out there that I think that feel like they've got this parenting thing, you know, like that they're just this amazing, perfect parent. And I'm like, okay, that's good that you feel that, and I think that's amazing, but that's to your kids, you know, and, you know, you don't know someone else's situation, or so, you know, just, it's one of those things where, you know, it's like you can't, because you see somebody in the store with like a kid crying or something like that, like some people would automatically, you know, get your kid under control, you know, like maybe just look at it a little differently, have some empathy, maybe, you know, you don't know what's going on. You don't know why the kid is crying. You don't know what kind of, you know, I'm sure most parents are doing their absolute best.
I think so. I'd like to think that.
You would like to think, that most parents are trying their best.
It's no manual. Like, we didn't come with instructions for this. So we all just try to figure it out.
I mean, seriously, when Chad Jr. came out, I looked for some set of instructions to come out as well. And I was like, is that done? Did you get everything out? Is there anything else?
Yeah, like, literally, we're all just doing the best that we can, making the best decisions that we can, and you know,
and people just give each other a little bit of grace, a little bit of understanding, especially if you're a parent. Because I would be willing to bet that most parents have had a crying child at one point in time.
At some point, okay.
So remember those moments when you're so quick to want to, you know, be irritated with another mother or father or something. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just empathy. It's like the empathy thing, right? It's empathy thing, right? But so that's cool. I think that's a great value.
Yeah, I think that those are good. So we're doing our best over here, okay?
We're doing our best.
Doing our best.
That's right.
There's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to jump into our first sponsor real quick. So we talked to you about BetterHelp before. BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. So, again, this year has been a just, for lack of better words, a doozy. Yes, it's been a wild roller coaster of a year. And I would bet that it, you know, has possibly got you, you know, at some point gotten you in a place of, you know, like you're trying to figure it out. Like, what's going on? Why is things happening? Why is it so rough? And, you know, why are things tough right now? Well, BetterHelp is, you know, here to kind of help you with that. You know, what they do is they'll assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. So that's really great. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. This is not a crisis line. It's not a self-help. It's a professional counseling, you know, done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many of your areas. And the service is available for clients like worldwide. So wherever you're at, you can check out BetterHelp. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions so you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room as with traditional therapy. BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed, and that's important. I think some of you may have tried a therapist before or a counselor, and maybe you didn't like that person and you just never tried it again. Like, you can, I guarantee there's the right person out there for you. Yeah. It might just take a few. So it's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. You can visit their website and read their testimonials, and they're posted daily, so you can kind of see what people are saying about BetterHelp. So for Let's Make Out podcast listeners, you can actually get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/LMO and join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. So again, 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/LMO.
Check them out.
Check them out.
All right. So what has been going on? So the last time we came to you guys, we were talking about our fire. If you have not listened or watched that episode, then you might want to pause and go check that out, so you can kind of get up to speed. We had a house fire, and we have been in a hotel for 2 weeks now.
It's on the 22nd.
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 22nd of August. We've been in here since. We have moved from the one suite, and then we're in like 2 suites. They give us 2 rooms with adjoining door.
Yeah, just so we can have a little bit more space.
A little bit more space. We're close to the house, so if we need something that's not packed up at the house, because this process has been such an eye-opening experience. Outside of the thankfulness and the grace of God that we experienced, we're like the process. Like, our insurance company is amazing, and so basically what happened is, they got us in a hotel that night. They had somebody call to say, hey, do you need us to come and do an emergency air cleaning service? They would have done it that night, but the firefighters recommended that we didn't stay in the house because it was just the soot and the dust was everywhere. So they said, look, we've got the smoke out, but we recommend you not staying here. That was from the firefighters. So got us a hotel, and the next day, 2 days later, because that was a Saturday, we got a call, and inspectors came out and did inspections on the house. And so they went around everywhere, inspected for like the general contracting work, the repairs, and also the cleanup. And then the next day had somebody come out to do all the inspection for like the furniture and all that stuff. And then somebody came out for the textiles, for all of the drapes and clothes, pillows. So all of the textiles, the pillows, drapes, all that stuff is gone. They took it, and they're dry cleaning all of it. Yeah. Baby.
Clothes, everything.
Yeah, all gone.
Yeah.
So, so they were very quick. They did that like in a half a day, took everything. And then our stuff was then packed up. So they went through room by room, packed up everything. I'm talking about pulled stuff out of drawers.
Everything. And
packed everything in boxes, took apart all of our beds, took apart everything, and they're going to pick it up this week and remove it from the house, so then the cleanup and the general contracting repairs can happen.
And I think the repairs are going to happen first, right? And so then the cleanup is at the end. I don't know.
I don't know what but it's the same company doing all of it.
Yeah.
And so
it's just a lot.
It was crazy because the fire in itself was a small fire.
It was so small. It's so funny when people are like, y'all still in the hotel? I'm like, yes, it literally is the smallest area in our house, it's the smoke that causes the majority of the damage, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and you can tell when you go back in the house. I mean, if you watch the vlog, then you've seen me scraping my finger on the kids' bedroom dressers. Like it's covered in soot, and it's crazy. And I'm so when that means the carpet is covered in that. So you're walking around the house. The minute you walk around through the house, you're kicking up all that dust, and you can smell it.
Yeah.
Like we were, if I'm going to be in there like a lot, then I'll put a mask on. But we don't go over there very often, but we go try to grab, because there's nothing really left there. So
no, I was going over there like the first couple of days we were here, and I was like making my egg whites because I don't really care for the hotel breakfast here. So I was like going over there making my breakfast, but I haven't done that in a while. We recently, over the weekend, we got groceries,
meal prepped at her mom's house,
to my mom's house, meal prepped a little bit at my mom's house, because what I am tired of doing is eating out. I am over eating out, and I never ever thought that I would say that, but it's just, I'm tired of room service. I'm tired of eating out, and
thankfully the food is amazing here.
Yeah, it's really good, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, I just miss my house. I just miss my house.
Yeah, I think that it's like when you plan to go to a hotel and you plan to be on like a staycation,
that's different.
Then you're excited about it, but when you don't plan it and then it obviously
kind of uprooted.
Yeah, you're uprooted when something like this. It stinks, but we're thankful. We're thankful that that it's going to be repaired, and we'll be back in there. Hopefully in the next few weeks. That's what we're hoping.
A few weeks.
I know.
I'm like, is it gonna be next week?
I mean,
like literally.
Once they get here's what I was told by our adjuster, is that like once they get the cleaning and the repairs done, that we can go back in. But the problem is then, will our stuff be back? Now the lady that does the cleaning of our furniture, so they'll take all of the furniture, right? They took the mattress, they took all that stuff. So if they can't get it clean and it still smells of smoke, then they'll file it. They'll basically say it's non-salvageable. They'll tell the insurance adjuster, and then we'll get paid for those items.
Oh yeah, and they did that. They did that already. So like today, we need to go because they come to pick up all the stuff tomorrow. So today we got to go and look through the non-salvageable boxes because they went through and marked things that were salvageable
would be like
or not.
Vitamins. And
so yeah, like the pantry, they took everything that was open and non-salvaged it. So, like...
And they made an itemized list and took a picture of each item, and we'll send that to the adjuster.
When I tell you they are so thorough, I've never experienced a fire, so I guess I just didn't know what went into all of this. And I'm like, is it our insurance company, or is this what happens across the board? Like, I have absolutely no idea.
That's why I said get a good insurance company. Make sure you got a good insurance company because, like, they
took care.
Because here's my thing. At the end of the day, I know that, some people are like, well, I just would have cleaned my house. Like, we've seen a few comments where people said, I would just clean my house.
I would have just cleaned my house. We would have just stayed there. Okay.
You can do that.
That's fine.
But what that will also do is probably void your insurance.
Yeah.
Because so the point of having homeowners insurance
is what we pay for.
Is for them to come in and do their job. So yeah, sure, you can. Are you going to replace your carpet as well?
Right.
But so for us, it's like, let the insurance do their job. Yeah. They're going to repair the things that are here's the thing. When it comes to fire damage, like they might end up painting the walls in our front room.
Yeah.
If not the walls in our entire like area by the stairs. They might actually paint the walls because smoke can get into the paint.
Yeah.
So
I just don't want to take no chances.
If we say no, we're going to do all that ourselves, and we say insurance, we don't need you. Yeah. Then we've really kind of screwed ourselves over because we have insurance. Why wouldn't we let them do their job?
Exactly.
So for us, it is what it is.
It's more important for them to do a thorough job. They've dealt with this. They know what to look for. They know what to clean. Sure, I can make it look pretty and sweep and, mop and stuff, but does that really get rid of all the debris, all of the smoke damage?
Does that get rid of all the dust and the debris that's in the air that we're breathing in, that's in the air ducts?
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, I don't know how to clean all that. I can't get in the air conditioning air ducts and clean it. And, so I don't want my wife and my kids or myself breathing that stuff in.
Yeah.
So
we made the decision to just go with what they said. And if it means that we're going to be in a hotel for a month, then, worse things could have happened. Like, we're here. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we are very close. We can go back if we need to. At this point, there's too much left there to grab. But,
no, there's not. But Chad,
it's nice to. I just want to go back and sit on my deck.
So we might do that this weekend, so Chad can play with his friends.
His friends in the neighborhood have been missing him. They've been calling and checking on us, and so it's nice. It is interesting because I do feel like when we go back, I'm going to have a greater appreciation for our house because I don't know, it was getting to the point where I was like, oh, I want a new house. I want a bigger house, blah, blah, blah. And we actually talked about this where we went and we looked for, land and, well, not land, but we went and looked for, builders and all of that stuff. And we were definitely considering it. But now we have decided that, we love our house. Yeah. We literally love our house. There's a lot of things that went into our decision, but, we literally did all the things, got pre-approved, found the model we wanted, and we're literally ready to, pull the trigger, and it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
How you doing something and you can make it
we prayed about
happen.
It, too. We prayed about
it, but I just had this... I was just this unsettling feeling. For one, y'all know I have major buyer's remorse. So that always comes into play. She was having pre-buyer's remorse. I was having pre-buyer's remorse.
But I wasn't feeling it either, though.
I just, it seemed like, oh, this is the best idea. We need to do it right now. And I don't want to make decisions in fear of, oh my goodness, well, when it's time to buy a house, ain't going to be no land left. it's always some land somewhere.
If it's meant for us to have it, God will make sure that there's land.
He will make sure that it is there. And then another huge part of it was like, well, do I want to do all of this and then spend all this money to move, all this money to refurnish?
If we get a bigger house, we have to buy new furniture.
All of the things when we're on a debt-free journey. Like, let's be real here. Like, we are trying to get out of student loan debt, and we are like making waves. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, speaking of, they've got some big news.
So
want to share.
So, well, do you want to share the first big news? The only way we got to mine was through yours.
So you guys know that you guys have been asking for like financial updates. So we do a loose Dave Ramsey situation, and it's honestly, I'm not even gonna call it Dave Ramsey. The only part of the Dave Ramsey plan that we adapted was the Debt Snowball.
Yeah. Like, so we're doing the Debt Snowball.
We're doing the Debt Snowball, which is where you start with your lowest.
So we have three debts on that,
and then move up. So we've been on this Dave Ramsey situation since we first read the Total Money Makeover back when we lived in the apartment, and we have since paid off like 4 cars. I'm like, we're not buying no more cars.
We paid off her silver Jeep that was when we were accident.
We paid off the black Jeep.
Paid off.
Then we paid off the silver. Well, the silver Jeep was totaled.
Yeah.
But no, it was paid off, actually.
It was paid off.
Yeah. We paid off the silver Jeep.
Yeah.
Then we had the accident. It was totaled.
Paid my car off.
Paid his car off. Then we got my latest Jeep, which we got in like August or September-ish of 2018. So in February, we paid off the Jeep.
That's right. So we own the Jeep.
So we own the Jeep outright.
And my car. Both of our cars are owned outright.
Babe had been paid off. Babes had been paid off. And then just last week, what did we do, man?
My student loan was the next one, and paid it off. Gone. So we were paying the full monthly payment, and like but we had the money, we were sitting on it, but we were wanting to wait. Kind of
COVID happened.
So we were like, well, let's just
pay this like in March.
And I was like, well, let's keep this money just sitting here and don't touch it. We'll continue to pay the monthly payment, and because all of it was going towards the principal anyways, because of like some of the student loan interest rates being knocked off,
which is another thing.
So but last week, click that button. They got the email confirmation that I no longer have a student loan, and now we were on to our last debt,
which is my student loan
of the Debt Snowball.
Woo, Lord, it has been a long time coming. How does it feel to not owe student loans? I just can't wait to know what that feels like. I am excited. It doesn't feel any different to you.
It doesn't feel any different.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel any different. I mean, no, it's cool, but at the same time, I think that the importance of paying off the student loans and debt really was a driving force from you. Yeah. And so I've adopted it. I'm excited about it for us. Yeah. Not for me individually, but for us.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
It's a great thing.
Because my student loan was your student loan. Your student loan is my student loan. That's how I view it, you know?
I mean, it's all ours.
Yeah, it's all ours. Yeah. So I'm excited to pay off our last student loan.
Yes, so excited
and then literally the only thing that we have is the house. And that's, usually not included in the Debt Snowball.
So, and that's why I say we didn't really follow the Dave Ramsey plan, because Dave would have had us still living in an apartment until we paid off the student loans, and I'm not about that life. So, so we kind of adapted it, did the parts that kind of worked the best for us. But I don't know, I'm just super excited about it because I feel like we've come so far in our financial journey. Like we, for years just made money and wasted it, and just didn't have a plan, didn't have anything to show for, the money we were making. And it's like, when we really put the plan in place with a lot of help from our budget coach, because we've been with a budget coach for a year, little over a year now.
Yeah, she's awesome.
We've been able to pay $70,000 in debt off, just from having a plan, in 1 year.
If you have a plan, what I've learned from this is if you have a plan, you can pay off debt and also enjoy life at the same time.
Yes.
Dave Ramsey's plan, I think, I respect the man. I think that he's a definitely smart guy, but I think that his plan can have you feeling like
very
you're
restricted,
deprived, and unhappy at times.
Yeah.
And my thing is, you live once. So if you can learn to pay off debt and live happy and be excited each day and be able to do some fun stuff, then I think that's where we want it to be. Nothing wrong with if you want to go the other way, but we want it to be
right, because
enjoy life.
Yeah, I mean, you have to decide what is more important for you.
Yeah.
And if you are totally okay with beans and rice and getting debt free as quick as possible,
do your thing. That's amazing. Do your thing.
I want to be debt free as quick as possible, but I don't want to be on beans and rice. No. And I want to travel and I want to do the things that I enjoy as well. So
that was,
putting the plan in place is what really helped us get there, because we had an actual goal that we were working towards. It wasn't just we want to pay it off. We want to pay it off. But it's no, well, how much do we want to pay off?
Yeah.
By what point do we want to be out of this debt?
Exactly.
So,
but in the same time, though, of saving up this money to pay off debt, we also, we have developed systems where we're saving money in other areas for other things.
Yeah.
We have
revved up our savings.
Revved up our savings for the business, for personal. Also, our taxes are paid quarterly now. No problem ever. We've always got the tax money sitting there.
What I tell you is nothing like getting an enormous bill from the IRS.
Yes.
Literally.
What's the highest one we ever got?
I feel like it was close to $60K.
Yeah, it was between federal and state, it was 60-ish.
Yes, and this was in the beginning of our company, before we had actually made an LLC for our company and we're paying ourselves and all of that.
So we were getting self-employment taxes.
We were paying the self-employment tax because we weren't actually paying ourselves a salary. And I never forget that was the worst. And I was never again.
And we didn't have all that money tucked away saved.
No, we had it, and then so what happened was partially some of it was our fault and some of it was not, because our accountant at the time told us that we were good. We didn't owe any money. And then
he realized
he had messed up.
Didn't do it and doubled, and basically we owed double what he said.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that was a whole nother thing. But then we weren't prepared because we weren't really saving the money that we should have for our taxes, because at that point we weren't paying ourselves a salary. So we weren't taking the 30% out for the taxes. So now we did told y'all about capital a million times. This is where we save our tax money. So every time we get paid in the business, 30% goes straight to capital.
30%, and that's for taxes.
So we pay our taxes quarterly. I'm not trying to get no more enormous bills from the IRS.
And when you do something like that, for instance, for you, even if you do that for your personal, if you just want if you want to save money, or if you want to do it for taxes, when you take 30% out, more than likely that 30% is going to be more than what you need. Right. But at the end of the year, once you file your taxes, you might even get a refund. Yeah. If you don't, you probably won't owe anything.
That's true.
And if you do, you've got the money there. If you don't, then you got a bucket of money sitting there.
And I don't know, that works for us. Everybody is not able to. No. I mean, definitely look at your taxes, because you'll be able to see what your tax
projection for next year
percentage is, what bracket you're actually in. So you'll know the percentage that you should save yourself. But we bumped ours up a little bit because we like having that little cushion.
It makes us feel comfortable.
It makes us feel a little comfortable even after we paid our quarterly taxes, and then we did our taxes this year. That's when we had that lump sum to pay Babe's student loan.
That was tax money that we saved from last year.
That was tax money that we had saved from last year, but we had paid all of the taxes. So it was oh, great, let's just stick this towards the debt. So I'm hoping, that is the plan for my student loans also, paying down throughout the year, but then also we're going to get this lump sum next year after taxes, because our estimates are already accounted for. Absolutely, and there's plenty of money left over, so we'll be able to just put a lump sum there.
It just feels
feels good.
Talking about money now for us
it's such a difference.
It's such a difference. We can laugh and we can joke and we say, you know what? Okay, we spent a little bit too much money here. Let's tighten it up. But it's not stressful. And we've never argued about money, but we also we're two different people. Yeah. So we have two different ways of looking at money, right? Yep. And so we had to mesh those, and we meshed them. And finally, we're at that point, where we're just we're doing so good at handling money, and we're not doing amazing. But what I'm saying is we're doing good at handling our money, and that it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely not uncomfortable.
You know, it's not uncomfortable, and it's like we can say, hey, you know what, we're gonna have this money, and we're gonna take this vacation, or we're gonna do that. We're not going anywhere with COVID, but we can talk about what we
next year though.
Next year, that's what I'm saying. So I think that
COVID ain't gonna keep me down next year.
Yeah, we've talked about every year. We just talked about this over this weekend on our date. Like every year taking a international trip somewhere, like a family
kind of
vacation.
Like we did the Europe trip. Like we were just like, let's just pick places we want to go, and like every summer just go and
we had a budget for that trip.
Live there for a little bit and just be like so many things.
But we had a budget for that trip, and we stayed within the budget. Yeah. And that was with having Mama come.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
that's true.
So we
say all of this to say have a plan. If you are on your
and get a financial planner if you need.
Debt-free journey. Have somebody help you
or budget
if it's
coach,
harder
maybe.
For you to because she's not a financial advisor. She is like a budget coach. Like we meet with her every month. We go over what's coming into the business, what's going out, personal, like all that types of stuff, all of those types of things. So having a plan is having a plan and having a clear goal will get you there a lot quicker than just willy-nilly winging it, because that's what we did for so many years. We just we're winging it, wasting money, doing all of the things. So I'm excited. My plan is to be done with my student loans. Oh, Lord, I'd love to be done by like 2022. And I feel like that's completely doable.
I think it's very doable.
If not before then, but mine are significantly larger than Babe's.
Yeah. Well, she, the master's degree over here, so she's
they're like significantly larger.
The smart woman over here. And
so I don't know. We'll see. So I said all of that to say I think we were starting talking about the house. It just at the time it just didn't feel right to spend all the money to move. Just to say we had a bigger house when we're still trying to be debt free.
Yeah, and
we don't have to move right now. Like we love our house, and it's so funny. My mom, I was telling her about it, and she was just like, "Y'all didn't buy a starter home." Like honestly, we got a pretty big house.
We do.
Like it's not just some old 2-bedroom, small square footage type of situation. We actually bought a pretty big house.
And she's like, which is thing about for us is it's our first home together, our first home, and but
my first home,
but it's like one of those things where you it's like you see it's just like when you look at cars, you got a car, then you see another car. Oh, I want that car. So it's like one of those things you see.
He itching to buy another car. He gonna have another car before we pay off this debt. We already know this because he gets a new car every few years.
But we pay it off though. See, so, but I think that it's just one of those things where you just we thought about it, we talked about it, we prayed about it, and we both were on that same. Yeah. And nothing like the whole process. It was exciting to look at houses and the what ifs, but none of it ever I think made us say. None of it ever really made sold us. None of it was ever like the point where we're like, oh, we're gonna do this. We
have to do this.
No, it's like
now.
it just.
And then real talk, houses are so expensive for no reason, and I just don't know that I want to spend $500,000 on a house in Indiana. I don't know if we're gonna be living here for the rest of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who? I don't know, and I think it's probably partially the area we live in. It's just
it's a nice area.
It's just
school system's amazing.
The school system is great, so the prices just keep inching up and inching up.
And that's what we were thinking about. So I mean the house that we wanted would have been half.
It would have been half.
A little bit over $500,000.
It would have been.
And
we got and it hurt. We got that approval letter.
When we got the pre-approval
letter, and it hurt. To be like,
that we got pre-approved for it, but it just didn't, and we knew that in our budget we could do it and stuff like that. But we were just like, it just didn't. There was no reason to do so. And then on the same time, our house, we bought our house, 4 years ago, and we've already got $60,000 in equity, and that's not including. It's $50,000 in equity, and that's not even including the upgrades we just did.
Right.
Think about that kitchen and the appliances and the fence and the carpet.
More,
that stuff hasn't even been accounted into an appraisal. So that's another maybe $20,000 because So we're sitting on like 50 to 70,000 equity in our house.
By the time we get debt paid off, if we decide we want to move at that point, I feel like we will have paid enough in, done enough upgrades that we're gonna make a good amount selling our home. But we'll see. It's also that thing too, like, how do we learn to be content with what we have? Because do we really need a bigger house? Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, do we really need a bigger house, or do we need to maximize the space that we have now?
So speaking of
that,
Yeah, speaking of that, that's a great point. We actually have a general contractor that we're supposed to meet with, and he's going to come out and give us a quote for the basement, trying to open up the basement some more. Our master bathroom. The bathroom is
we would love to redo it.
We'd like to redo it because it's it's a 2009 bathroom.
So it's dated.
It's dated, but
a bigger shower.
And it was built the way someone else wanted it, because that wasn't our house. We didn't build it, obviously. So we would like to see about changing a few things, get a bigger shower.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have them come out and check it out, because anything we do in that house, it's our house, right? And
it's gonna be.
It's just going to up the value. Anything we do to modernize it. So no, we're excited. We're excited about that. And this, but see, that's how God works. I mean, God, like, I don't think that God allowed the fire to happen. That's not what. No. But what He allowed to come from it is even more clarity.
Yeah.
Of like.
I think that,
even more clarity of, an
appreciation,
even more of an appreciation. We already knew we had a great house and we love our house, but you get caught up in, what if the grass is greener on this side?
Right. Oh, well, everybody else is building over there. Let's do it too.
Let's do it before it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this.
There's land everywhere. Okay.
Exactly.
Ain't no shortage of land.
No shortage of land. So I think that, that's how we look at it. Is like, we're like, we ultimately didn't need to move.
Yeah, and not right now.
And now we just have even more of appreciation for what we do have.
Honey, and when I get back in that house, I'm going to be loving all of it. I'm already thinking about the things we can do with the playroom. Because they non-salvaged the white bookshelf we had in the playroom. Yeah. The whole bookshelf that Babe took all that time painting white. Do y'all remember that? They non-salvaged it.
I'm happy to see it go.
So I think they're going to take it.
We were tired of it anyway.
We're trying to figure out how to remodel that. We want to, upgrade our bedroom, like in terms of like decor. So it has definitely given me a better
basement. Thought about changing out
our house and just the things that we can still do.
We're excited
to make it different. And I'm excited to be back in there.
We're very excited about we've been talking about like what we're going to do so we're very excited. We're thankful.
We're excited about that. So that's where we are. I did a live last week on Instagram, and a lot of people were asking, were we still gonna like move? Were we still looking at houses? So that was the answer, the long-winded answer for that.
Yeah, no,
no, not at the moment. It's pushed on pause because student loans are taking priority. Yeah, student loans and possibly surgery for me.
You're so funny.
Like, I don't want to sacrifice my
and another piece of this,
my perky girls for a new house now.
Right? Exactly. Yes. You're hilarious. That's hilarious. It's true, though.
It's true. Because, you know what I'm saying? That's something else that I want to invest in.
Well, speaking of perky girls, do you want to talk about something that covers them up?
That's a hilarious segue. But should we change the battery here? Because it's flashing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes. So before we ramble any further, I want to tell you guys about our next sponsor. I was super excited to work with this company because you guys know that I am a fan of shopping. And
what?
Right. And I love to shop online, as I'm sure all of us do, because kind of that's the normal right now.
The norm, right?
So I want to tell you about a new site that I found out about, and it's called ModCloth. At ModCloth, they make getting dressed fun. They are independently owned, and they're all about perfect fits for everybody. Unique, mood-boosting prints, vintage-inspired, versatile styles that make you look good, but more importantly, feel good. So you can find your joy at modcloth.com. So I went on the site, and they have the cutest pieces. Like, literally, I was scrolling for quite a while before I decided on what it was that I wanted to order. So I went with, like, these two dresses, and they are so cute.
They're so fly.
Aren't they, though?
Oh, my goodness.
I tried them on for Babe, and he was like, ooh, okay. So I got this one that's, like, long sleeve, button down, like, knit, black, like, fitted bodycon type of dress.
Stop talking about it.
It is the bomb. Okay, it is
bomb.
So cute. And then I got this other one. It's like more of like a business casual,
but it's
or it
cute
could be
as
like
heck
a
too,
wedding attire type of
cute.
thing. It's so cute. It's like a green blouse with an attached skirt, and it's like black and pink, and it's just really, really cute. I was impressed. The quality is great. I also got a pair of earrings that I really like. So if you have not tried out ModCloth, or if you've never checked them out, you should definitely do so, because they have good quality pieces, and you can get 20% off of your purchase of $75 or more, including their sale items. So all you have to do is go to modcloth.com. That's MODCLOTH.com, and enter the code LMO at checkout. So the promo code cannot be combined with other offers, though. So just keep that in mind. And again, that's modcloth.com. Enter the code LMO for 20% off of your order of $75 or more. And let me know what you think about it. Like, just go check out the website. They have the cutest pieces. So I'm excited to wear that black number somewhere.
Yeah,
it's going to be a date night.
I'm excited for her to wear that black number.
Yeah. Babe was like, oh, you cute. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Figure out how them buttons work. But
so funny. So that's what's been going on with us. That's our update. Our long-winded
I was gonna say, and the last thing that I was thinking about before you started talking about the black dress was another reason too for us that, you know, getting another house isn't priority is that we have always talked about possibly moving.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that could be in our, you know, if that's what God has for us, it might be in our journey to move at some point.
That's true.
And if so, you know, what's the point of building a brand new house now if we're not going to be here? But we might be here. We don't know yet. But we've had thoughts of possibly. It's always in our mind. It's always in our mind to move somewhere where it's warmer and
warmer year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another reason too. So there's a lot of factors, but ultimately that's how in sync we are.
I think we made the right decision. It did sting.
I haven't thought about it since.
It stung for a couple of days because we made the decision, and then we got like the pre-approval letter the next day, and I was like, oh man.
And I looked at it. I didn't even know if she looked at it. I forgot that she was emailed as well, because both of our emails, I thought it was just like my email.
You weren't even gonna tell me, Shouty.
I was gonna wait maybe a day just so you could like get off the high of.
It was literally the next day, and I was like, "Oh man,
she
texted me. We made the wrong decision."
She texted me, and she's like, "That hurts."
It does. It's soul crushing.
But it also is encouraging.
It was to know that we were approved.
Yeah, it's also encouraging to know that you know, together, you know, with all of you, like we've been able to grow this business and that's pretty exciting. That's pretty, you know,
definitely a testament to how far Gay Babe TV has come.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
But so that's the update. So we are still on the Debt Snowball. We're on the last one. And we are, you know, the house is in the progress of, you know, being restored and back to pre-loss condition is what they call it. So we're excited for that. I think anything else, you know, Chad Jr.'s school, give you a little update on him. He's doing good in school. He's loving school. He loves his teacher. He gets to Zoom with his friends. He likes them. He already has a favorite one that he, you know, kind of likes. Reagan is still doing her thing.
Reagan is Reagan.
She is just so Reagan.
The girl has so much personality. It's crazy.
Goodness.
I just find myself looking at her like, for one, she's here. You know, for years.
My goodness.
You know, visualized having a daughter named Reagan literally for decades, and to see her in the flesh and just all the personality that she has now, it just warms my heart. Oh my God. It just warms
both
my
of
heart.
Our kids are just like,
it's crazy.
They're just the love that they give off. Like, you know, like just the
they're so happy.
They're just so happy. And
it's awesome.
it's just I don't want to get emotional, man.
I know, and their relationship is the cutest right now. I don't know how long it's gonna stay this close. I'm very curious to see how it will progress as they get older, because I'm sure they'll go through the stage where they get on each other. They get on each other's nerves now.
There's been a few times where Chad, I'm like, is this the beginning? This beginning of my little sister getting on my nerve? Yeah. Because sometimes he's like, no, Reagan, leave me alone. But other times,
it's so cute though. I feel like they're gonna be thick as thieves like the older they get.
I think that there's because Chad is so calm and Reagan is so not calm. I think that they're gonna butt heads because of that. But I think that at the same time their bond is gonna be pretty awesome. I think Chad loves his little sister. He loves Reagan. Loves her. And heck, Oscar loves Reagan.
Man, speaking of Oscar, you guys have been asking about Oscar. Oscar is still with Kelly. Yeah. He's been hanging out with Kelly and Baker.
We didn't get to pick him up that Saturday.
We didn't get to pick him up that Saturday because of the fire, so he just kind of stayed there, and he loves it there. Like he
can't come
Baker's
to the hotel,
like his brother.
Yeah, so, he can't come to the hotel.
Yeah, they just be hanging out with Kel. He just be hanging out with Kel. So. That's how Oscar is doing. He's doing good. If you're wondering, he's our little dog. If you don't know who Oscar is, he's our little man, our Maltese Shih Tzu who looks like he's a puppy, but he's
11 years old.
Our
little old man.
Our first kid.
But no, he's doing good. Everybody's doing good.
We're
blessed. We're feeling good. Hopefully, all of you are doing awesome and blessed.
So. And thanks for rocking with us and staying tuned and giving us grace when we done upload and all of that good stuff. Thank you again for all the prayers and the well wishes. We definitely see them and we appreciate them.
You got something to say?
Hi, this is Siege. He wanted to come say hello.
You're so cute, buddy.
We didn't forget about your episode. We're going to bring you.
That's right. We're going to have an episode, Siege episode. But so we would appreciate if you would, rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening to. If you're watching, then please like this, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
You can follow us on social at Let's Make Out Pod, which is on Twitter, and Let's Make Out Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and here on YouTube if you're watching. And then you can search Let's Make Out Podcast on any of the streaming platforms.
Yep.
We appreciate you. We love y'all.
Yes.
And
we'll be back next week with more Ask Gabe and Babe. So keep them coming. We've been getting some good ones. If you have a situation, a dilemma, whatever it is, and you would like to have our take on it, we'd love for you to send it in. You can email us at letsmakeoutpodcast@gmail.com and put hashtag Ask Gabe and Babe in the subject so we know that you want us to cover it on the show.
That's right.
Yeah,
so till next time.
Next week.
No, wait.
You don't have to do all of that.
Unless you want to. Never mind.
Okay,
I don't know
thanks.
what to say.
All right. So we'll talk to you guys next week.
That's right.
Bye.
Deuces.
Ended at that.
All right.
You're so funny.
Well, so you got a little bit of Siege in here if you're watching.
I know, right?
And
you're just missing Ray.
Just missing Ray.
All right, y'all.